Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. I wanted to give y'all an update on the fiasco in New York. New York Post Bruin has decided they're going to ban body armor, create new restrictions for firearms concealed carry permits, even though the Bruin decision said you can't do that. They're going to create all kinds of sensitive places, and basically it's a ban on concealed carry anywhere. All private businesses are now defaulted to no firearms allowed unless the owner of said business makes it explicitly clear that they welcome firearms in their establishment. New York has gone cuckoo, and Kathy has said that she wants to do more. If you need to look at what a tyrant looks like, this is one on your screen. Also, real quick before I go into this, I want to thank Brian McDonald for this hat that came in as a birthday gift. Just got it in the mail today. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it's a perfect hat for the channel. So thank you very much, Brian. I appreciate you and the gift. So New York, the Sheriff's Association has come out against the issues created by this new law that was forced down the citizens' throats. I'm going to give you some quotes from a statement they released, and I'm also going to give you some quotes from an attorney that represents the Sheriff's Association. And it's almost like these things needed to be said, but it didn't need to be said. First off, here on the screen regarding the new firearms law language that was released last Friday, it says, a parliamentary ruse was used to circumvent the requirement in our state constitution that legislators and the public must have 3 days to study and discuss proposed legislation before it can be taken up for a vote. The legislature's leadership claimed, and the governor agreed, that it was a necessity to pass the bill immediately without waiting the constitutionally required 3 days, even though the law would not take effect for 2 full months. Consequently, law enforcement agencies and the courts, which bear most of the responsibility for implementing the new licensing laws, were deprived of any opportunity to point out to the legislature the burdensome, costly, and unworkable nature of many of the new law's provisions. The Sheriff's Association also called into question the constitutionality of the new law, saying, our citizens, whose rights are once again being circumscribed, probably again in unconstitutional ways, had no opportunity to communicate their concerns to their legislative representatives. We do not support punitive licensing requirements that aim only to restrain and punish law-abiding citizens who wish to exercise their Second Amendment rights. All right, way to go there, Sheriff's Association. But I will say this. If you all are the ones issuing the licenses, just issue them. Who cares what the governor signs? Do what's right. If you're saying we need to abide by the Constitution, just do it. But then they said this. If we had been consulted before passage of these laws, we could have helped the legislators discern the difference between those two things, and the result would have been better, more workable licensing provisions that respect the rights of our law-abiding citizens and punish the lawbreakers. We don't need licensing restrictions to do that. Just keep people in jail is typically how you do that. Has nothing to do with permitting. But now let's talk about what one of their attorneys who represents this association also said. Now, Peter Kehoe is the executive director of the New York State Sheriff's Association, and he represents all 58 sheriff's departments. Now, he sat down with CBS 6, and I'm going to put up the transcript here because you'll get the picture of what he's trying to convey. So first, he's asked if he had the opportunity to read the legislation before it went into law, and his response was absolutely not, and no one else did either. I think a lot of people didn't see it until it was passed, including the lawmakers. Now, in response to the statement that I just referred to and gave you quotes from, a spokesperson from New York's Democratic state majority came out and called that statement false. So he was asked what he thought about that. He said, what's false about it? It was passed in 1 day, which is unusual and unconstitutional unless it's a necessity. What's necessary about it? The new gun laws almost certainly put state government at risk for more lawsuits and enforcement agencies like sheriff's offices and police departments. I think pretty clearly the intent was to stymie lawful gun owners from getting their permits, and that would be unconstitutional by the state. He was then asked, do you believe that it infringes on Second Amendment rights? He said, sure, by creating a rule they can't abide by. He also said he believes the laws infringe on New Yorkers' Second Amendment rights in more than one way. First, by requiring businesses to post signs if guns are allowed, saying there should be an assumption under the Constitution guns are allowed unless explicitly prohibited. He also said the laws prevent New Yorkers from obtaining a pistol permit by creating training requirements that are unattainable in a timely manner, saying it requires that everyone who applies for concealed carry has an in-person interview with a judge. Millions of people are going to be applying for these licenses, and where are judges going to find time to interview these people? It's not going to happen, and that's why we believe it was put in there. So even the sheriffs are saying that this is unconstitutional. Of course, it's going to have to be challenged. I know it's being worked on already. But again, I'm calling out to the sheriff's departments. If you know it's unconstitutional, do not abide by it. We are not required to abide by unconstitutional laws. Issue you permits and tell your citizenry, come and get it. And don't even charge them for it, because you shouldn't be in it for a dollar bill. Give them out. If it's required by the state to have a card, give it out. Give it for free, because that's what the Second Amendment is. It's free. We don't pay for our rights. We don't pay for permission slips from government. So if you really believe it, sheriffs, do something about it. And if you want to stay up to date with the challenges that are inevitably coming here legally, and I think they'll be coming quick, real quick, then subscribe to the channel to stay in the know. I will give you all of the news, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, just as fast as it drops here on Guns and Gadgets. I thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. I will see you on the next one, y'all. Take care.